Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rum on the Couch video number 57. Dave here from Manchester Rum Festival. For this episode, I want to focus on a brand that we actually saw a fair bit. I used to run a shop in Manchester as well, called Riddles Emporium. And we got approached by a gent who had something called St Abbs rum. He had a Cask Silver, he had available a 6-spice rum, and then the Captain's Table XO bottle as well. And it intrigued me because obviously it's rum. And I remember giving it a go thinking, wow, that could actually work quite well for our clientele. And I realised as I'm moving house, I found some bottles. Pardon me. So I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. Let's retry something. To be fair, not hard. I'd say for about a year and a half, 2 years now. So like I say, St Abbs Cask Silver, what it says on here on the bottle is 40% ABV. And it is, well, actually says charcoal filtered blend of young and old rum spirits. So we're talking cask rum aged up to 5 years in Trinidad cellars and charcoal filtered for a crystal clear, apparently citrus character and smooth barrel rested finish. As you'd expect, molasses rum distilled in the Caribbean. So it's actually bottled in the EU for a company based in the Seychelles. So let's give this a go. I have to admit, even though we had it in the shop, I didn't play around, as you'd expect, bigger shop, in cocktails too much. So I'm intrigued to sort of think what we could be doing with this. Very, I'd say cream soda, right in the nose there. Light, floral, sort of candy floss, fluffy element towards it. Little bit of butter. Other than that, not too much going on, but to be fair, it's a lot lighter. The palate, though, carries it on. Oh, very, very smooth, actually. Hasn't got that kind of alcoholic burn that you sometimes catch on the back of your throat. Easy. I mean, in a way, a lot of the profiles I've just picked up on the nose have transferred right onto that palate as well. Lacks a bit of edge, perhaps. Maybe it's a little bit too smooth. It's sort of it's lacking that kind of. It's lacking something. It's hard to say what it is, but I feel like there's not too much bump for flavours. It's up to 5 years, and I suppose the downside for that is it could be a little bit of a 5-year element and a lot of 1 or 2 year, and I think that's what I'm picking up. But to be fair, it probably will work best in the daiquiri. I'd say things like a mojito will work quite well with this. Classic rum and mixer, fruit juice with this will work, I feel, very well, actually. Okay, so that's the silver. I'm going to have the spice last. I don't want the spices to overtake my palate for the XO. So I'm going to have a little bit the Captain's Table XO. Nice little smaller, dinkier bottle for this. Still 40% ABV. The back says a handpicked blend. So we've got a blend here of Guyana, Barbados, Trinidad and Jamaica in a tribute to the St Abbs and the 100 barrels of Captain Bell's private reserve rum that saved her soul on the 14th of June 1855. So a bit of a historical background there. It will explain the ship. I don't think you can certainly see it on here. There's a nice ship engraving, sort of a laser etched on the back of the bottle there, which of course you can see through. So, like I say, still 40% ABV. I can smell something already. That's a good sign for me that you can barely have to open the bottle to get some good aromas going out. Burnt toffee straight away, in a good way as well. Little bit of caramel, you get some sort of subtle cinnamon actually. Maybe grounded nutmeg. The oak's definitely there. You can tell there's a lot of profiles coming into this. Did it have a... Hasn't really got a rough age statement, so... Be interested, I think, what the palate's going to offer. Again, very, very smooth. Lots of butter, lots of that kind of liquid molasses, caramel, toffee, sort of honeycomb profile. Definitely some honey coming through, actually. I wouldn't say it's too old. I'd probably say that's a good 7-8 year old. Maybe it's a bit too much. I'd say that's a good 7. Lacks a bit of Jamaica, but you definitely get the Guyanese. That's sort of a sweetness that I'm picking on the underlining. That's definitely the Guyana for me. The Barbados is there for sure, offering that sort of lighter profile. Doesn't say if it's any pot or column still. I'd say probably a little bit more column than pot for sure. Excuse me. It's catching the back of my throat as well. Definitely some sort of kind of rich honey butter profiles. It's not a bad rum, not a bad rum. I have to admit, I've had more things I was expecting, but it could make a really good old-fashioned, I feel, actually. Really good old-fashioned. Maybe a little of orange water in there to sort of dilute that sweetness a little bit more, but you could have a good couple of those without interest at all. All right, so the last one. Always a bit dubious of spice, but it is 40% ABV. Excuse me. So a blend of silver and the cask enhanced rum, aged for up to 5 years in those Trinidad cellars again, charcoal filtered, but then cursed with 6 spices and this blackstrap ration of dark caramel. So a bit of added colour. It doesn't say what the 6 spices are, but let's see if we've got freshness. I'm always a bit dubious when it comes to spice rums these days. Is it real? Is it not? Is it enhanced? Is it just added for the colour effect? Is it marketing gimmick? Not as powerful as I expected there. Not getting a kind of cinnamon ginger profiles you normally perceive these days either. A bit of lemon comes through actually. A little bit of that kind of round citrus element. And a little bit. There is kind of clove profile, kind of very, very dry clove, that sort of subtle hint without actually opening up in front of you. Again, very, very smooth. It's not bitter. It's not overly dry. It is a little bit dry, but it's not like you need a glass of water straight away. A little bit sickly around the sides. You do get that sweetness. I feel like sugar has, well, as I say sugar, it's the dark caramel. That's definitely having an impact on this. So it's a little bit sweeter than I would imagine it to be. But across the whole 3 bottles, that characteristic of the smoothness, the easy to approach rum, really ticks the box well with that. This is a great, I feel, introduction to what rum can be like. You know, blend the rum with the Captain's Table XO. You got a really good silver rum that's, I wish I hadn't called it silver, but I suppose it was back in the day when it was released. But a good young rum that's, again, easy to approach and not having that kind of raw burn that a lot of people would expect a young rum to have, hence the addition of cola, ginger ale and so on. The spice, it's not like the vast majority of spice rums that are coming out in the market at the moment. It's interesting actually, when I smelt it as I tasted it, you get a lot more of the rum profile coming through. It does lack a little bit on the palate though, although it is just the Trinidadian, which in my mind is quite a light, fragrant rum in its own right. All right, well, that was really good to revisit what St Abbs is all about. Again, if you're intrigued enough, please do give it a go. Check it out on Master Mode and Whisky Exchange. Head to the likes of Tipples of Manchester. Ask the guys there if they can source a bottle for you. If you have had it already, please do let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. What was your favourite from the range here? And of course, how do you drink it at home or in your favourite bar when, God forbid, we can actually go back to a bar and enjoy a good rum cocktail? Until then, though, I will see you all for the next episode of Rum and a Couch. Enjoy the rest of your day.